Here, people start quickly to point to winners and losers in a trade. And as we've often seen, it takes a while to evaluate a trade correctly.
Yeah, it's a much bigger picture than just the names that you see.
Running game also muffled so far. Corey Boyd, as you mentioned, I mean, just not, you know, the big names, but also the draft picks, which were significant, and cap space.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing, when you look at assets gained and lost in trades, one thing that nobody ever mentions but is critical in a league with a salary cap is cap space. By trading Ricky Ray, the Edmonton Eskimos add cap space that allows them to go out in free agency and add Greg Carr at receiver, Simeon Routier at offensive guard, Kerry Koch at receiver. You've got to factor those things in, and are they a better offense or as good an offense with Ricky Ray but without those guys as the other side?
Yvonne Figures, former NFLer, Baltimore Raven draft pick, up to the 25-yard line. What a season, what an off season like no other. The shockwaves being felt, and Henry Burris, of course, moving. We had quarterback changes in 4 cities, head coaching changes in 4 cities.
A huge offseason when you consider an 8-team league. So many significant moves being made. You know, and that's not even getting into some of the guys who moved via free agency, including Andy Fantuz.
And of course, it's all begun here. Canada Day weekend, the Rona Canada Day kickoff on TSN last night, today and tomorrow. Penalty flag back at the 21-yard line on the Hugh Charles carry. The Eskimos, again, one of those seasons last year, as we take a look at Giles' numbers last season with Toronto when he was anointed as the starting quarterback. What a year for the Argonauts in their quarterback situation. It became a soap opera after a while, especially the Cleo Lemon odyssey.
Well, offside. Toronto number 5, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, it was the end of the Cleo Lemon era that was where things became most mysterious. Somewhat bitter departure for a man who had been the Argos starting quarterback for a year and a half.
Argos did end the season on a positive note, won 3 of 4, but well out of the playoffs. Charles, left side, looking for the first down marker. Come up short. Question is, how short? Stephen Giles looks to the bench. They're going to bring out some big bodies. Calvin McCarty and Mathieu Bertrand. So second and short yardage here.
Hey, over here! Come on!
Giles behind center this time. Calvin McCarty. He's a guy who just flies under the radar, doesn't he? And has for so many seasons.
An unsung hero within this offense, a guy who you can plug in there and not lose a lot in terms of production over the course of his 6-year career. Jerome Messam, there you see the rushing numbers. Far and away the Eskimos' leading rusher, a guy who combines speed and power for them. Not to mention the fact that he was a ratio breaker for them. The Eskimos have been forced to juggle going with 4 Canadians on the O-line this year to offset his loss.
Giles now scrambles and will slide to the 45-yard line, just short of first down. Yeah, lost in all the talk radio and all the discussion about Ricky Ray. The biggest loss for the Edmonton Eskimos in the offseason had to be Jerome Messam.
And that combination, when you look at what the identity of the Edmonton Eskimos offense was, obviously number 1, Ricky Ray, no question about it, as he had been for a decade. But Jerome Messam became a big part of it last year, kind of providing some balance for Ricky Ray in the passing game.
Second short yardage again. Once again, same play call. Back to the Surrey, BC native, Calvin McCarty. Well, we flash back to number 23, released by the BC Lions, found a home in Edmonton and started opening up lanes and finding end zones with the Eskimos.
Yeah, breakout season for Jerome Messam as he finally got an opportunity to display the talent that people have long known that he possessed.
First and 10 now, Edmonton, 6-0 here, second quarter. Giles keeps, rolls. Bowman open on the boundary. There he goes, Adarius Bowman. Down to the 25-yard line. He was wide open. They kind of forgot about Adarius Bowman on the corner.
Well, so much of the attention has gone to Greg Carr offensively in the first half of this football game. But Bowman, the big target on the other side. Guy who finally had a breakout here, developing some consistency last season as he moved from wide receiver into the slot. You don't expect it from a guy that big, but he is terrific after the catch as well.
Giles shotgun again, first and 10. Close to the red zone. Far side, Nate Kuhorn, former Calgary Dino.
As the Edmonton Eskimos under Eric Tillman start to rebuild their Canadian talent. You see Nate Kuhorn, a first-round pick a year ago. He's the #1 receiver on this play, closest to the sidelines. Had a 100-plus yard game in week 2 of the preseason. First-round pick in 2011, getting a chance to start this year.
5th overall, Giles has to let it go. Sidearm, penalty flag, back near the 12-yard line. And the Argos were in that backfield so quickly. Did someone jump here?
Offside. Toronto number 23. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Newcomer T.J. Williams, one of the 4 new defensive backs under Scott Milanovich in the Argos. So now first and goal. Eskimos hovering near the end zone. There's Kuhorn. Wide out here. Hand off to Hugh Charles. Charles, right side to the end zone. Touchdown. Backflip. A la Gizmo, they love it here. Hugh Charles, his trademark.
Just a great cutback by #7, Hugh Charles, on the play with all the flow offensively going to the left. He redirects, and with that speed, no one else was able to recover with him.
Good job, baby.
All Eskimos in this first half. Brad Shaw supplying 2 field goals and now a point after on the Hugh Charles scamper to the end zone. Flipping out, 13-0. The first touchdown of 2012 for the Edmonton Eskimos belongs to that man.
And Hugh Charles, again, with that cutback, providing the speed, that different dimension to the Eskimos' run game, allowing them to punch it into the end zone for their first major of 2012.
13-0. Eskimos. Shaw the kickoff. With 10 to go before halftime. The Argos have done nothing offensively. Chad Cackert pulls his way over the 40, and his ex-teammate Grant Shaw makes the tackle. So good field position now for Ricky Ray, but let's take a look at this 9-play, 85-yard drive.
Now the Eskimos ate up over 4 minutes on the clock. The big play, Stephen Giles to Adarius Bowman, the big receiver, down the sideline. Following a Toronto Argonaut penalty, that set up the touchdown by #7, Hugh Charles.
Well, the Argos get good field position here. Ricky Ray's been pretty much in the shadows of his goalposts this entire first half. And Chad Owens lunging for a first down. Looks like they'll mark it there. Should move the sticks. They will.
For one of the guys with whom Scott Milanovic had some familiarity coming over from Montreal to Toronto was Chad Owens, who began his CFL career as an Alouette. One of Milanovic's big goals offensively is to try and get the ball into Owens' hands in space. A guy who's best known as a kick returner. Going to try and take advantage of those skills.
Ray to his right, in trouble, and loads and gives it to Corey Boyd, and Corey Boyd's had a bullseye on his back. Mentioning Chad Owens, one of the things too, Chad Owens is known as one of the most dangerous returners in the game, a guy who can take it back at any time, and he's a very good receiver. Chad Owens did not have a touchdown receiving in 2011.
Well, that was kind of the story of the Toronto Argonauts season, was they had a lot of trouble with their passing game, particularly when it came to getting the ball into the end zone.
Second and 11. Here's the rush again. Look out, Ricky Ray throws it up, and a well overthrown. Looking for Owens. Ricky Ray getting a lot of pressure again. That is referee Andre Proulx on the sideline being attended to right now. He got hit on the field. Try to provide an update. As we have seen before, and Dwayne, you know, you played at this level. It is very dangerous sometimes to be in the middle of the action. Michel Pizano takes over as referee. Wearing black and white. Line drive kick here. Prefontaine, nicely done, angles it. The Argos down 13-0 at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. We're back in Edmonton. Ricky Ray's return. There was also a change at the top of the shop in Edmonton this season. With more, let's go down to Ryan Richard.
Absolutely, Rod, with new Eskimo president Len Rhodes. Len, your first 2 weeks on the job, you were part of the decision to trade Ricky Ray. I know you monitored fan reaction closely. What was your sense of the reaction, and what do you think of the reaction today?
Well, Ricky's a class act, and I expected the fans to give him a good reception, and I'm very happy it's out of the way. Now it's Stephen Giles' time to shine.
Talk about what's happening in the stands. I understand fans here in Edmonton will be treated to some better seats soon.
Yeah, starting the end of July, Ryan, what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade all the seats. It's a 1.5-year project. We're replacing 58,000 seats. They're going to be 2 inches wider, have cup holders, and it's going to upgrade the whole stadium. The original ones were here since 1978. It's really going to change the whole outlook of this whole stadium.
Len, thanks for taking time to talk to us today. Enjoy the season.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right, Rod.
Len Rhodes, new president of the Edmonton Eskimos. You saw Fred Stamps make his first catch. 7 minutes to go before halftime. And as the president just said, this is Stephen Giles' era now. His ball to throw with it. There is Kerry Cope.
A nice one-handed stab by the former Saskatchewan Rough Rider. One of those free agents that we mentioned that the Eskimos acquired with the added cap space this offseason.
There's a nice grab by Kerry Coke. Comes over from the Saskatchewan Roughriders, 2 seasons there. There you see the numbers, 3 touchdowns as well. First and 10, Giles. Now Fred Stamps with running room. Stamps shuffles out to the 35-yard line. Seeing a lot of outlet passes, little hitch passes now from Stephen Giles.
A quick hitting offense. They've had Hugh Charles involved so they can start to work some of the play action. You're also starting to see more receivers get involved after a disproportionate number of passes, you could say, going to Greg Carr and Adarius Bowman early on.
First and 10. And Hugh Charles, Ricky Foley brings him down, and we can update Andre Proulx, and we understand that maybe suffering a little heat stroke. Hot one today, so he will be attended to. Back in the clubhouse. Second and 4. And Hugh Charles stuffed right there. 2 yards shy of a first down. That will bring out the kick team again.
A couple of first downs posted by the Edmonton Eskimos. It seems like their offense first to sort of find its mark, find its groove here in this football game. The Toronto Argonauts still trying to get everybody on the same page.
Teams, of course, played 2 preseason games and had to make some decisions. A lot of new faces on both sides. Takes some time.
In a lot of cases in those preseason games, you're not seeing the starters play more than a total of 3 quarters of football through those 2 weeks.
Dale's kick bounds out at the 25-yard line. It's 13-0. Esk Ricky Ray next. Eastman's trusted assistant Scott Milanovich makes the move from Montreal to Toronto.
With him, he brings a very impressive resume as an offensive coach. You see the numbers based on last season, first in the CFL in points, yards per game, passing yards, and time of possession. You can imagine why folks in Toronto are excited about the prospect of a season with Scott Milanovich and Ricky Ray teaming up.
He's 38 years old, Scott Milanovich. Corey Chamberlain we saw last night, Saskatchewan Rough Rider coach, 35, got his first win. Scott Milanovich last night, I'm sure, was watching his old buddy as well, a guy he used to throw passes to at the University of Maryland.
Yeah, the Terrapin pride for his old partner in crime, his battery mate G-Roy Simon. And congratulations from us to the CFL's new all-time leading receiver.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, G-Roy Simon, last night, with the guy he passed, Milt Stiegel, in attendance and counting for him. Andre Dury with his first touch and bursts for a first down. Andre Dury, such an important part of this Toronto Argonauts offense.
Dury